Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Raw Ring Report. Coming up, Money in the Bank qualifying matches continue. The final Money in the Bank qualifying matches as CM Punk, AJ Styles, and El Gran Americano in the Money in the Bank Triple Threat qualifying match. Which one of these three stars will earn themselves a spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match? We'll talk about it coming up here. Coming up. Also, too, in the women's division, we get to see the debut of Stephanie Vakir. She makes her Raw debut against former women's champion and former Money in the Bank winner Liv Morgan and Ivy Nile. Which one of these three women will earn themselves a spot in the women's Money in the Bank, the final spot? We'll talk about it coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Also, too, we hear from the women's Intercontinental Champion, Liv Valkyria, is live Valkyria had her women's championship, her Intercontinental title defense against Becky Lynch, the man. We'll talk about it coming up here on Pro Wrestling Show. Also, too, we'll talk about this right here. If we can show the man of the hour right here. We had the man of the hour. R-Truth has been released from WWE. What's next for R-Truth? We'll find out as the Pro Wrestling Show starts right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you can join us in the Pro Wrestling Show. We'll talk about R-Truth a little bit later on in Wrestling Hot Topics. But first thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect and our digital platforms as well. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. All right. We'll get to R-Truth a little bit later on the show. But we kick things off with this. The CM Punk, the Chicago superstar, Punk made his appearance. CM Punk coming out there to claim that he's going to get victory tonight over you know who. The three guys he's going to compete, the two guys he's going to compete against later on in the main event, where he'll take on both AJ Styles and El Gran Americano. But CM Punk saying that he wants to be Money in the Bank. He reminded people that he was a Mr. Money in the Bank a couple of years ago. He was a two-time winner back to back. He won the world championships back to back in the same year. I think 08 and 09. So CM Punk knows the thing too about winning Money in the Bank almost 15 years ago. Man, that's kind of like so early. But CM Punk made it so clear that he wants to be a third-time winner. And the only way he can do so, he has to win that spot tonight. Well, CM Punk got interrupted tonight by Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn was talking about how his opportunity got ruined tonight. Sami Zayn no longer going to be in the Money in the Bank. He had a shot. He lost his chance. And now Sami Zayn wants to relive his glory. I think with Sami wants to feel the burden. And Sami Zayn feels like he's lost without you know who. But Sami Zayn saying that he wants a shot of being Mr. Money in the Bank. Just ain't coming his way. And Sami Zayn feels like his opportunity has passed him on by. Sami Zayn wants to be world champion. He craves to be world champion. And I can say that about Sami. Hey, looking for that opportunity, looking for that moment of the time for Sami. Sami Zayn has to reach in and dig down deep. You know what I mean? For Sami to do what he needs to do in order to essence and stuff. But like I said, Sami Zayn will probably get a chance down the road. Right now, he still wants to out of that world championship. We'll see if Sami Zayn will get his moment of the sun. But a little bit earlier, we saw this Sami Zayn right here being confronted by Karrion Kross of not being getting the opportunity of a lifetime. Karrion has been making waves in WWE, but he hasn't been getting the opportunity that he deserved. Karrion told Sami he got to find his dark side. Said he could have been world champion if he would have found his dark side sooner rather than later. So Sami Zayn, learning and listening from a lot of people tonight. Well, speaking of that, the Judgment Day doesn't have Carlito. We talk about that a little bit later on. Carlito was absent. The Judgment Day doesn't have nothing going on. You can see Rhea Ripley, Finn Balor, not Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez, JD Madonna, Liv Morgan, and Dom Mysterio. Without Carlito, they was kind of like a little bit lost. And you can tell right here, this is an Easter egg right here. Intercontinental Champion Dominic holding Carlito. We'll tell you a little bit later on what's going on with Carlito. Carlito, no longer part of WWE. Man, they just releasing everybody left and right. Carlito no longer part of WWE, coming up when his contract's not going to be renewed. Oh, man. Well, we get to one match tonight right here. We kick things off with the women's Money in the Bank right here. Stephanie McCure, Liv Morgan, and Ivy Nile. Which one of these three women will go to LA and have a spot in the women's Money in the Bank qualifying match? We found out who was that was going to be. Stephanie McCure made an impact. She earlier on today. Stephanie officially signed her Raw contract. Stephanie now part of the Raw roster, the main roster. Man, real quick, within almost under a year, Stephanie McCure made some quick process real quick. Stephanie McCure part of the Raw roster, no longer part of the NXT roster. We're going to see tomorrow on the NXT Ring Report um, without Stephanie, and that was real quick. Stephanie making her debut, and Stephanie winning big, defeating Liv Morgan and Ivy Nile, pinning Ivy Nile to get the nod and become the final participant in the women's Money in the Bank. Stephanie McCure will probably meet Julia once again. Roxanne Perez from her NXT days was about almost a couple of months ago. These women were in NXT. Now they're part of the main roster. You got Naomi, you got Alexa Bliss, you got Rhea Ripley. The only person that has the experience in this Money in the Bank ladder match is Alexa Bliss. Now Alexa Bliss could be a Money in the Bank winner once again. Cash in whenever they're going to be. Don't forget that we'll have the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Money in the Bank, predict the outcome, and review all day Saturday before and after Money in the Bank. So look forward to seeing that coming up for Money in the Bank coming up your way this Saturday. Speaking of that, Stephanie McCure earns herself a spot, and Stephanie McCure wins the match. She might meet this woman right here, Rhea Ripley. Stephanie McCure and Rhea Ripley having a face to face. Now these two women could be across the aisle from each other in that ladder match to see who wants it bad, and we're gonna see coming up who wants it the most between Rhea Ripley and Stephanie McCure this coming Saturday. Look for that. Well, we get to this right here. The women's intercontinental champion, Lyra Valkyria, made her presence known. Lyra Valkyria will be going against Becky Lynch this Saturday. Lyra Valkyria puts her championship on line, her intercontinental title on line against Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria had a confrontation, both right here, a pull apart right here, a brawl between both women. Both women want to tear each other apart, but they're gonna have to wait for Saturday to pull each other apart. Remember the stipulation that if Lyra wins, Becky could not challenge for the Intercontinental title never again. But if Becky wins, Lyra must raise her hand in a token of victory over pinning her. So we'll see how that's going to go down and stuff. Main event, Jey Uso and Sami Zayn were in action against Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman's guys, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Match ended in no disqualification when CM Punk and Seth Rollins made their appearance by doing what they're doing. That led to what we saw, and we'll see if CM Punk will do the same coming up. CM Punk said he if he got to go against Jay, he'll go against Jay. If he got to go against Cena, he'll go against Cena. But CM Punk wants to be world champion once again. That's what his plan was. Sami Zayn saying the same thing. I think Sammy's going to be targeting Jay. Probably a match at SummerSlam. That's what it'd probably be. We get to this right here. Chad Gable coming out there grandstanding. Chad Gable saying that he cannot wait to compete at Worlds Collide when he goes against El Vikingo and win the championship away from El Vikingo. We'll see if Chad Gable got shot, but I think he's El Grande, like Michael Cole like to say too. Well, the Judgment Day was in action. Finn Balor and JD Madonna, they was in action tonight. Finn and JD won their match against the War Raiders. They could be next in line for a shot at the tag team championships. Tag team champions making it seem the New Day, um, with Grayson Waller and the rest of them. Tag team champions trying to win the pockets. I can tell you that right now. What's going on with that? Also, too, Paul Heyman telling AJ Styles to focus on winning the Intercontinental Championship from Dom, but AJ said he wants to be world champion again. I think AJ is going to be going for the Intercontinental Championship once again and defeat Dominic Mysterio and get his Intercontinental title back. So we could see that. That could be a possibility down the road by Paul Heyman issuing that don't come around Seth Rollins. Let Seth Rollins do what he needs to do to win. Well, Kyrie Singh won her match tonight. Kyrie Singh and Io Sky cheering her on. But I think to me, this is sort of like a setup for a match down the road between Kyrie Singh and Io. These two women may have to fight each other coming soon. So look forward to seeing that as well as Kyrie Singh and Io Sky want to tear each other down, tear other apart. We could see that coming up. So however that may be. So Kyrie Singh and Io Sky happy now on good friendship terms at the moment, but you can tell that friendship is going to end real soon, real quickly. Well, speaking of that, we see right here Penta issued a warning that he's going to win the Money in the Bank, the men's Money in the Bank, and cash in and hold, become a world champion. Penta has become world champion, a TNA world champion, but Penta wants the one of the world heavyweight championship. Penta wants, and Penta send a message to the other competitors in that Money in the Bank ladder match. We'll see if Penta's going to do what he needs to do. Well, speaking of that, Miro issuing a warning saying that he thought Shane was out there looking for him. When Sheamus told Kathy Kelly that Miro is at a different path, and he said he could have helped Miro, but he didn't think Miro at the time was in a dark place in a dark state. Now Kathy Kelly, now Sheamus looking forward to probably be fighting Miro down the road. Sheamus and Miro seeing these two juggernauts, both were teammates in the League of Nations. We'll see if that's gonna play out eventually between Miro and Sheamus, who wants to do what he needs to do. Well, we go to this right here next week on Raw. Gunther will take on Jey Uso for the world title. The world title hang above right there between both of them. Gunther issuing that, hey, in a selfish business, Jay is selfless, but he's going to do Jay the favor and take the championship away from him and do what's needed best to keep the Raw brand going. Maven Jay Uso looked at Gunther, listened to him, and patiently told Gunther that, hey, I'm going to make sure three words, tap. And I think Maven Jay Uso, the world champion, listen, heed, but he's want to take heed to it and do what he needs to do to win. So main event Jey Uso, Gunther for the world title next week. We'll see how that's going to go next week. So however that's going to be coming up. Well, we get to the main event. The main event was the men's Money in the Bank. And the men's Money in the Bank was CM Punk, AJ Styles, and El Grand Americano. Which one of these three men will head to Money in the Bank? We heard earlier from Punk saying that he wants to win and become a world champion again. If he got to go to Jey Uso, his friend, or go to John Cena, he got to do what he has to do. But he wants that championship. El Grand Americano, which I believe is Chad Gable. Chad Gable acting like he doesn't know he knows he's not that. And however they're gonna play. And we heard earlier from AJ Styles tonight. AJ Styles issued a warning from Paul Heyman that hey, don't intervene in the match. Go for the Intercontinental title, but just wasn't the case. We saw tonight AJ lost tonight to El Gran Americano. He won a shocking upset. We thought CM Punk was going to win. It just wasn't the case. CM Punk didn't win. AJ Styles didn't win. They was the heavy two favorites to win due to the interference of Seth Rollins, who wearing that ridiculous chain, and Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Both of them wearing that ridiculous thing. And both of them clean house tonight as they both attacked Punk and friends and left Punk, Jay Uso, and Sami Zayn outland. And you can see right here, Paul Heyman watching right here. Seth Rollins wants to be the world champion, but he could win the briefcase to earn himself that spot. We'll see if Jay, Punk, and Sammy can recover on what went down tonight. We'll see how that's going to be. Seth Rollins and friends, Seth Rollins and his alliance, stood tall over world champion Uso, Punk, and Zayn. So we see how that's going to go. Be all right. That ends the Raw Ring report here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Let's move forward to Wrestling Hot Topics. On Wrestling Hot Topics, we talk about this. This is the hot topic of the night right here of yesterday. Our Truth made has been released. Our Truth came out of nowhere and made the comment right here. This is the comment Our Truth said. Um, I'm saying that someone put right here, TKO done more harm than good. Vince McMahon, this is Vince McMahon fault or whatever. What went down? This is right here what Our Truth wrote. I'm sorry to inform you all that I just got released from WWE. I want to thank everyone, thank WWE for the ride, but mostly I want to thank each and every one of you for along the ride. Thank you for the love, support, and appreciation you have given me over the years. Thank you. Our Truth. Now we're hearing that Our Truth had WWE wanted him to take a pay cut. He didn't want to take a pay cut, so Our Truth decided that he didn't. He felt like it wasn't going to substantiate his needs, his financial needs. Our Truth been with the company for damn near almost 20 years overall. So Our Truth started in 2001, and when the Attitude Era left, went to TNA, became a TNA champion, NWA champion, came back in WWE in 2008, became U.S. champion, feuded with Shelton Benjamin, and Our Truth became a company goal. I think the last 5 years, Our Truth winning the 24/7 championship for multiple record times. So Our Truth, a lot of people are upset. At least the wrestling world's upset about it. A lot of them showing their appreciation to Our Truth. Um, Our Truth on what went down right here. Um, Trinity saying this Trinity and Jade piggybacking on their feud and stuff. So we kind of see right here Carmelo Hayes sending an appreciation post for Our Truth. You know, he's kind of like what Kevin Owens saying to Our Truth, his kindness and humility. What went down? Big E, a lot of notable people saying goodbye to Our Truth. I don't think it's over for Our Truth. You never know in wrestling. Our Truth may come back, become a WWE Hall of Famer, but Our Truth may get this big run and probably go back to Impact or AEW for a comedy gimmick. You never know. But a lot of the fans really showing that disapproval of WWE releasing Our Truth like that unjust just after he just had a match against John Cena. And you can tell right here a lot of the fans right here are a little bit upset about what went down. Our Truth, a fan favorite amongst the stars, amongst people all everywhere. I'm a big fan of Our Truth. I look up to Our Truth, and now Ron Truth Killings. A lot of folks saying it ain't gonna be the same, but Our Truth with the comedy, with the different stuff like the Royal Rumble. He thought he brought the ladders in the Royal Rumble. That he had went to Survivor Series and thought it was the Royal Rumble or something like that. Our Truth crazy, but Our Truth going to be very missed. And Our Truth may have a future ahead of him. I can tell you that right now. R Truth may have something going for him after WWE. You never know. So, well, R Truth does. We're gonna be following and watching. So, keep an eye on R Truth. Well, speaking of that, Carlito as well has been released. Carlito no longer part of WWE, and Carlito voiced his opinion as well that he's done. You can tell right here the Judgment Day kind of was sad that Carlito's not around. They said Carlito even took the PS box with him. So uh, Carlito really didn't do as much in WWE when he returned. Carlito came back and wrestled, and that was it. Carlito came back, and hopefully somebody out there might have some for Carlito. You never know what's next for Carlito. How that's going to be for Carlito forward. So looking forward to seeing what's next for Carlito. I think it's big stuff ahead for Carlito. You know, we'll see what Carlito might do. See, Carlito still got the rest of the in him or what? Okay, see. Well, speaking of that, Valhalla, better known as Sarah Logan, she got released as well. So everybody's getting released left and right. Man, they treat WWE like a bit. WWE is a business, but I mean, releasing folks like Truth and Carlito. I mean, them your ruthless aggression guys and stuff. Like, Truth and Carlito being released as well. So we saw how that went down and stuff. But Truth and Carlito. So we'll see how that be and stuff like that. So Truth Carlito. Um, but they're gonna be remembered. But like you said, it's WWE. You never know. They can always come back. So Truth, we're gonna be watching what you're gonna do, as well as Carlito. We're gonna be watching what you do as well. So we're gonna keep a close eye on that. All right. Also, too, we're hearing that one of the members of the LWO, before we leave out, had suffered injury. So we're hoping that everything's okay for the LWO member as well. So Jaquan Wilder, he suffered an injury as well. So hey, we'll see. All right, we're gonna leave you with Seth Rollins and his Dangerous Alliance, laying out World Champion Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, CM Punk. This has been the Raw Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show. I've been your host, Kendrick Dix, saying so long. We'll see you next time. We'll see you tomorrow for the NXT Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling.